Nancy Hines Glazer with All Art All the Time, and today I'm excited because we're going to watch some youngsters perform, and I'm here with two of the principal people for the What Exit Theater Training Wing. How am I doing? Is that close?
It used to be, we were the What Exit Theater Company, and we are now part of the Theater Project. So the Theater Project, we're keeping that name, and the What Exit will be the What Exit Comedy Project for different events.
Okay, but today you guys are working
with education
under that
as a
performance classroom here at the Bergdorf. And why don't you introduce yourself and tell us how you got involved?
Sure. I'm Jen Crane Turner, and I was called in early 2008 to actually sub for a semester for the teacher you will be seeing later, Miss Jane Keitel, and I took over her music theater class. And after that semester, I was approached because we all got along and had fun, and the kids were great, and if I would like to be Director of Education, and I gladly accepted, and that is where I have been since.
Director of Education.
Director of Education.
And Bev, you're working with everybody here. I think everybody knows you. Our audience has known you pretty well for being in theater many years.
I was the artistic director of What Exit Theater, and now Mark Spina is the artistic director of the new entity, which is the Theater Project.
Which I also know.
I'll be the casting director.
Oh, you're the casting, yeah.
We used a lot of the same, people. It just made a lot of sense for us to come together. A lot of the same actors. I mean, we were just discussing.
Yep.
Jen's known Mark for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty incestuous to begin with. So
theater world,
here we
that's
are.
my circle. And what I'm interested in is your particular project right now is called.
It's the Bullying Play, a musical, and it was developed by our music theater class. They are the first through third graders of the Maplewood South Orange School District. Our classes are open to anybody, even outside of the realm of Maplewood South Orange, but these are the kids that happen to be with us this semester. There are 6 beautifully talented children in the class.
And now it's time to turn it over and make cooties a cool thing to wear. Do it again. Never know how much I hear it. Never know how much I bear. Now it's time to turn it over and make cooties the cool thing to wear. So that's time that you go cooties the cool. Kind of a tight thing, but you can do it. Cooties the cool. Cooties the cool thing to wear. Give me cooties, hear it. Never know how much I bear. But now it's time to turn it over and make cooties the cool thing to wear.
And Miss Jane basically works with them to develop their characters and their setting as well as their dialogue.
Once upon a time, there was a lovely young lady named Violet. She lived in a beautiful home with her family, her mother and her father. We take it out to a typical evening when her mother and father are reading her a story before Violet goes to sleep.
We found this book in your backpack. It says on the back it's about bullies and how to stop them. Let's read this tonight. No, Mommy and Daddy, I'd rather skip it. I'm rather tired. Well, okay then. Wait, you're not going to go to that school, are you? No, Mommy. She's not going to go to that school. Let's go to bed. 1 second. You tell me you're going to go to school, right? Yeah. Sure.
And a semester lasts how long?
We have just started this year running 14 weeks, so it is 14 weeks.
So kids that young have to be pretty sure. Do you have any? Do you have any that aren't sure when they start and are convinced by the time they leave?
There's definitely hesitation, but the beauty of this class and the reason that it's one of our most popular and just our main seller is that the kids get the creative hand in developing the show. So for the ones that are a little shyer, it helps them come out of their shell a little bit if they kind of have the creative hand in that. So that way they're creating their own boundaries. They're not stepping past something where their comfort zone is. So they're really learning how to trust and develop and just shine on their own. And that's actually the motto of the performance classroom has always been to kind of celebrate kids' natural abilities and imaginations. So we definitely take that and comfort them and let them know it's okay to share it all. So.
And they're pretty perceptive. I think that's the one thing about kids. They don't miss a trick.
No.
You know, us oldsters, it kind of flies by, but they don't miss a trick. And teaching them and training them and working with them to articulate that or come up with a storyline about it must be a wonderful challenge for professional actors as well as teachers.
Yeah, it's fun. Having taught the class twice, one time we ended up developing a musical called Under the Sea, which was a bunch of mermaids that lived under the sea with their dad, and they wanted to play baseball with the underwater baseball team and not just be princess mermaids. So that was an interesting concept.
Little SpongeBob.
Yes, little SpongeBob, little mermaid, little everything in there.
Yellow Submarine, throw in that too, right?
Yeah. Then last semester, they wrote a biological musical about germs. And different illnesses you could get kind of creating and talking and living in this town together inside somebody's body and an amoeba. So you really never know what you're going to get with kids.
They're so creative too. I mean, the
it's
thing I love
really-
about these shows, they really, by the time you become an adult, you get a little tense about trying to be a whatever, you know, but the
Yeah.
kids are freer. You notice that in,
They love
art, in kids' drawings and things. I love kids' artwork. I mean, you know,
The
drawings and
visual arts,
paintings,
right,
yeah.
yeah, because it comes out in interesting ways also.
It's free and very creative. Yeah.
And helps them also, as you said, come up with a
Absolutely.
show. I think that's very important. Now, I can tell you and share your 30 seconds, but I didn't start acting till I was 26. And I only did it to read in front of people to be comfortable. And then I got cast in the lead, and then that was the end of
Then
that.
you got bitten by the bug.
Exactly. Are you finding any of that happening with some of these kids? They just get bit and that's it. They're off on a wave all their own.
Well, we have some kids that started out in this musical theater class when they were in first grade, and now they're in our second class, the Performance Playhouse, and now they're fifth graders. And the beauty of it is now they've moved on to the next class. Their siblings, who sat here and watched them perform for 3 years, are now in this music theater class. So they've watched their older brother or sister, and then they've decided that that might be fun too. So now the whole family is involved. And definitely, I mean, there's been some kids, even they've come to us for help. They want to do the talent show at school now, or they want to try out for a community theater production of something. And these aren't things that were in their head before, so definitely realizing that they can do it, we've kind of platformed them to another level. And we're happy to, because they're wonderful, beautiful kids. We get a really nice mix.
And there's a lot of performers and actors and actresses in the area, so
Yes.
you would anticipate their children might have some of the bug anyway, or the gift of it. So,
Yeah.
and now you've done a lot of comedy too. So, is this interesting to watch what the kids have come up with, Bullying the Musical?
I haven't seen this yet,
Oh, so
so
we're
today
gonna
is
have
going
a
to be my
chance.
first time I was going to come to the show, but now I get to see the rehearsal. No, normally I don't come to the classes and see the rehearsals. I always come to the final show, which is so adorable.
And it's on the main stage at the Bergdorf,
Yes,
right?
they
So-
perform at the Bergdorf.
Okay, and the other thing is the subject matter is so heightened right now, and we're all very aware it's been a challenge. Bullying's been a challenge since I was a kid,
Right.
even back in the dark ages. And I know that, I mean, really, those messages are still in my head when I was bullied. And so this is all a way to
You were
teach and
bullied?
help. I was bullied.
Wow.
And, I think everybody probably was, but some people forget it, but I haven't. And it changes how you see the world. So this is allowing the kids to maybe see it differently and stand up for themselves. So I'm very proud of you doing this and
Yeah.
grateful to you. in helping to build the next generation of kids who are healthy and stand up for themselves.
I've got push, 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 push the limits, gotta push, 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 push the limits, gotta push, 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 push the limits, 'cause that's what I know how to do.
Life is a mosaic we can create.
And I'm with Jane Keitel, a performer, a theater teacher, working artist who has been working with these young kids on their bullying play, Bullying the Musical. So I wanted to get at how you got them so engaged. I had a chance to watch them, to get so engaged in creating the material, because that's a special gift you have to get them there. How'd you do that?
They come knowing that that's going to be their process. So they understand that we're not going to take an already written script, that all of the ideas will come from them. And they've been attending the classes here for a while, so they're used to that process. Excuse me, I almost wish you had the camera when we are first coming up with ideas, because it's this cacophony of, oh, I know, and it's noisy, and my assistant and I are writing like crazy. But once we come up with the basic idea, then they decide who they want to be within that story, which also eliminates what happens a lot of times in other venues, including the class I'm about to teach now, where they audition for a role. That's eliminated. They're choosing which parts in that story they're going to play. Then we break down what the beginning, middle, and end are. We write dialogue for different scenes, and we decide where a song would work, which is a whole other part of the process. But in terms of getting them ready to write, that also comes, their families have told them that this was what they're going to do, so they come ready for that process.
And music also is such a part of this, and you're also a musician, I guess a composer. Certainly you hear music and see maybe where it fits. Was that part of your creative process and bringing it to this as well?
Yeah, I love that part. It is my favorite part, I would say, because the songs that we write are very short, but they do what they're supposed to in musical theater, is that they move the story forward. And what the kids will do is they come up with these little hooks, if you will, like that, the one that they were just, I got a plan, that song we were just singing, that came from them. Taking an already written song and then coming up with their own lyrics is not, I mean, lots of teachers do that in lots of different venues, but that's also fun. It saves a little more time than composing our own music, because that can get time consuming, writing the melodies, writing the bridge.
But that's part of your creative process
Yeah.
and your input. So it's a real collaboration. Kids, adults, music, dance, drama, improv, and it's a special skill you brought to work with the kids and to our audiences looking forward to seeing it in full bloom. And I want to thank you for your contribution of talent.
Thank you.
Our viewers will be very happy, I know. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate
It's
it.
great to be here. Thank you. Yeah.
Let's go creepy under people. Now, as soon as you finish that, go around her and as a group decide the best time to move over to the stage right. And maybe don't wait, just go right into it.
You're a loser. You're a loser. You're a loser. No, stop! Help somebody! I'm losing. That's nothing true. Goodbye.
and I'm here with Nathaniel, one of the players in Bullying the Musical, right?
Yes.
Okay, and are you from South Orange or Maplewood?
Maplewood.
Okay. You're involved in this play, and it's been all part of you talking and developing your own character.
Yeah.
How did you do that? How were you able to think that through?
Like, we, did hard work. Like, we all worked together to make this big, play. And, now we're, close to, doing it on the stage.
Is that exciting for you to get there, to be where you can really do it on the stage?
Yes. See all those, people in front of us, acting. It's just,
And did you learn anything so far that you didn't know about bullying? Have you learned something from the process of doing this play? Or did you know it all already before you started?
some parts might not be true, but maybe bullies might just be scared. The person that they're bullying might be prettier than them, nicer than them, and they want to be them.
So it comes from a place where they don't feel good themselves, and that's why they take it out on other kids. That's a very important lesson to learn. I'm looking forward to having a chance to watch you guys at least rehearse and maybe coming to the show. And I want to thank you, Nathaniel, for sharing your talent with us and us out in the TV world, okay? I look forward to seeing more of you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Is there anything else that either of you'd like to say about this particular production or those going forward? We have some new plans for the future. This is being taped in 2011. So what about 2012? Do you have new visions? Do you see more courses?
We definitely, we've tried to reach the younger group before, and that hasn't quite clicked, but definitely the music theater class will still be offered for 1st through 3rd. Our performance playhouse will still be for 3rd through 5th, and we also have improv that we offer as well. We reached out to some of the middle school kids, and we would also love to grab some teenagers as well. And we also, in our class, have a wonderful gentleman, Arthur Hunking, who's an intern, who is currently a student at Columbia High School. And he's also involved in the drama program, so it's nice to have him here, kind of in the wings, also supporting them. So
Different generations helping
yeah,
the
it
next,
really
right?
is. It's a big community, a big family of education here. So
Wonderful, and we're very grateful to the Theater Project and you who's part of that, and you who's teaching here and guiding the next generation. And we're grateful for you in the audience for paying attention to the wonderful talent we have and supporting our kids as they grow. Thank you.
Life is a mosaic we can create.
Hello, this is Nancy Hines Glazer with All Art, All the Time for Summit Television. You've just had an opportunity to watch some of our wonderful, talented children in the area in a play that they wrote, a musical production on bullying. It's very important, and it's, for our time, even more important than it once was. And one of the greatest things is all the cultural offerings that are here at the Bergdorf Center for the Performing Arts, from theater to musical reviews, one-act plays, laughter, drama, and interesting people. And right now, we're going to have a chance to meet 2 of those interesting people in a new partnership and collaboration between What Exit Theater Company and the Theater Project at Union County College. With me are Bev Sheehan from What Exit and Mark Spina from the Theater Project. Talk a little bit about the partnership and how that's all going and some of the stuff coming up for both of you. So, Beth, why don't you start us out? You've been here the longest, would we say, right?
Yeah, I guess we haven't. Well, let me just say, I have felt the love of Maplewood South Orange tonight as we did at the breakfast. It's just feels so good for me to be able to continue on with my friend Mark and the Theater Project, because we've known each other for what?
Longer than we want to admit.
Yes, we've known each other a while, and they lost their space at Union County College, and I was in great need of a bigger staff and partnership, and so we're going to work here together out of the Bergdorf, and it's great. It's just been amazing to feel the support of people here in town, and they're just going to love the theater project.
And without question, and I've known Mark for a few years. I'm not even going to say that either because I don't remember, but it was
It's
before
longer than you think.
before 9/11. But anyway, Mark, here you are in the new space, and this is pretty exciting for you, I'm sure.
Well, this is our 18th year with the theater project. I think Bev, What Exit started about the same time, and it just seemed like we both had a need, and we came back together at just the right moment. So the company certainly is, I know the theater project is much stronger. What Exit is much stronger because we brought together so many dedicated people from both groups. So we're really looking forward to growing here in Maplewood and becoming part of the community and becoming a theater that's known beyond Maplewood and around the state.
And, both of you are known beyond Maplewood and beyond, throughout the state and throughout the region, actually. So, and Dreamcatchers in South Orange as well. And the more theater is, the better. It isn't a competitive thing in this day and age. The more it just percolates and it's collaborative, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you guys have shared actors for years anyway, so you've gotten to know one another. What are some of the things that are coming up that you have planned?
The theater project almost started with Christopher Durang. So we thought it would be great, since Bev loves Durang, to make our first show here at the Bergdorf. A recent play by Christopher Durang called Miss Witherspoon. And it's about a woman, played by Bev, who has committed suicide because she can't deal with a world where Skylab can fall on you at any minute. And she just wants to be dead, but they keep telling her, you haven't learned your lessons yet, you've got to be reincarnated, whether you like it or not. And it's about that battle between Bev and the cosmos. Will she go back and learn lessons, or will she stay up in what they call heaven, and or does she go back? The Bardo. She's in this netherworld called the Bardo, and she asks to speak to Mahatma Gandhi, and they say there is no way you are ready to speak to Mahatma Gandhi.
Got some work to do,
yeah,
Cal.
Got some work to do. Got to go back first. So it's a very funny play, but all Christopher Durang, there's always
there's an edge.
There's a very sharp edge, and also some deep truth to the comedy.
And you're also going to be doing some playwriting competitions and youth theater and young kids and old kids and all there in between.
We have the Performance Classroom, which is a very successful What Exit program. We have our Summer Kids Musical, Theater Project Junior, and this is our 10th annual Young Playwrights Competition this year. Every year we award 3 high school playwrights savings bonds, and we also perform their work at the awards ceremony. And then one of those plays is chosen to go on to our One Act Festival in November. So we're helping young writers move forward.
Wonderful. And when I first met you, actually, we did a contest in New York, and it changed my life forever. So the contest concept for kids has just got to be a big shot in the arm and a real opportunity for them to feel like, hey, I can do this.
Well, almost every year we have, the 3 winners give speeches, and almost every year one of them says, I would never have written this if I hadn't heard that somebody took it seriously. I would never have bothered. And, it's different from when we were kids and we were, writing school plays left and right. So much of that is, falling out of our educational system. And when you think of what writing does for kids, what creative writing does for kids, the critical thinking skills, and the development of their own brain power and imagination, we're so rewarded that we're able to create a need so they feel they need to write and can express themselves.
And while we need you, and I'll tell you, the society needs theater more than ever, and writers, and we want to thank you, and I'm glad you came together, so I've got fun to see. I really can't wait to see some of the shows that are going on for you. And anything in particular going for
I was just going to say, by the time this goes on air, our Sondheim night will...
Have come and gone.
Maybe not.
Musicals? I don't know.
Well,
we don't know.
we're having a benefit concert Monday night, March 5th, which may be in the past, but I think it's a really interesting collaboration. There are many Broadway singers who make their homes in Maplewood, and they are volunteering their time and energy and talents to do a benefit concert to raise money for the transition of both companies into this space, which is such a symbol, I think, of what happens when theater people get together and pool their talent and creativity and the generosity of these people to set up that kind of event, whether it's past, present, or future. It makes me feel good just knowing there are people in the world who will do something like that.
That's wonderful. Well, we need you, and we thank you, and we're happy for this collaboration. And we thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Nancy.
Thanks.
Eyes is